Next week on Home and Away in the UK, Cohen finds himself abandoned by another parent as Adrian leaves. Can Rue bring him back? Only 2 weeks after learning the identity of his father, Cohen already faces the prospect of losing him as Adrian flees Summer Bay. The discovery of a potential father put the cat amongst the pigeons for foster care Rue, who had already begun the process of adopting Cohen after his mum Samantha relinquished custody in the wake of her arrest. Adrian had been an old boyfriend of Samantha's, who David discovered had once posted bail for Samantha at a time when she was pregnant with Cohen. Summoned to Yabby Creek Police Station, Adrian confirmed that he'd always believed himself to be Cohen's father, but Samantha had denied it to be the case when she walked out on him when Cohen was 3 months old. The plan was to wait for DNA confirmation before involving Cohen, but Adrian couldn't hold back. After spotting Cohen with Rue at the surf club, he introduced himself. The encounter left Cohen confused, forcing Cash, Nicholas Cartwright, to step in, with Rue later explaining who Adrian was. The eventual DNA results removed any doubt. Adrian was Cohen's biological father. For Rue, the confirmation was bittersweet. She knew it might mean saying goodbye to the boy she'd come to see as her own. Cohen's first proper meeting with Adrian went smoothly, with the youngster even calling him dad as they bonded over a game of footy. But the following day, things soured. Adrian attempted to explain to Cohen that he'd never walked away, that Samantha had lied and taken Cohen from him. Still fiercely protective of his mum, Cohen refused to believe it and lashed out at Adrian. Rue, secretly relieved at Cohen's rejection, was quick to keep Adrian at arm's length. But during a fishing trip with Alf, Cohen opened up about what had really upset him. Alf then urged Rue to see things from Adrian's perspective and give him another chance. At the same time, Harper warned Rue that if she continued to block Adrian's involvement, she risked losing her role as Cohen's foster carer altogether. Realizing she had no choice but to step back, Rue allowed Adrian to reconnect with Cohen, and father and son agreed to make a fresh start. Next week, Adrian joins Rue and Cohen for dinner, with Cohen buzzing at the chance to spend more time with his dad. Shortly after his arrival, Adrian receives a message from his mother, which sets Cohen's mind racing. That means he has another nana. Adrian confirms that Cohen also has a grandfather, and an aunt and uncle, both of whom have their own children. Adrian finds himself fielding an avalanche of questions about all the cousins that Cohen has never met. But while Cohen is full of excitement at meeting them, Rue quietly notices that Adrian doesn't seem entirely comfortable. The next day, Cohen is attempting to help Alf sort out his fishing tackle, but his mind is clearly elsewhere as he ponders what his cousins are like. Cohen can't believe his luck after losing Samantha and subsequently learning his grandmother had passed. Not only did Rue and Alf come into his life, but now his father, other grandparents and a whole host of relations. Cohen soon turns the conversation onto Alf's family, and Alf tells him about growing up with his sisters. Meanwhile, seeing Cohen getting excited about the trip to meet his family has left Rue concerned about Adrian's apparent hesitance. She arranges to meet Adrian in the diner, where she asks how he's feeling about the situation, and whether it's actually okay for Cohen to meet his family. "It's not happening," Adrian bluntly blurts out, taking Rue by surprise. "I'm not taking Cohen to meet my family," he reiterates, before walking out. Rue pursues Adrian as he heads towards his car, desperate to discuss it. As she tells Adrian that he's going to have to be the one to tell Cohen, Adrian goes on to say that meeting Cohen in the first place was a huge mistake. He never should have come to Summer Bay. Before Rue can reason with him, Adrian climbs into his ute and drives away, asking only that she tell Cohen he's sorry. As Rue returns home, Cohen is still quizzing Alf on his ancestry, going back to his Scottish roots. Sensing that Rue urgently needs to talk with him alone, Alf suggests that an eager Cohen head upstairs and take a look at the Stewart family tree that's hanging up in his room. After breaking the news to Alf that Adrian has gone, neither of them know how to explain it to Cohen. As they later take Cohen for a walk, he is still brimming with questions about meeting his extended family, and Alf gently gives Rue space to be the one to tell him. Rue struggles to explain, admitting to Cohen that his dad has left and she doesn't know if he'll be back. Confused and upset, Cohen blames himself, wondering what he did wrong after being abandoned for the second time in as many months. Shaken, Rue heads to Yabby Creek Police Station to ask David for Adrian's address, but both David and Cash insist their hands are tied. Though Cash quietly disagrees with David's hardline stance, he reiterates that there's nothing he can do. Later that evening, as Cash reaches the end of his shift, he admits to David that he's unsure he made the right decision by withholding Adrian's address. As David reminds him of police procedure and pulls Cash up on questioning his judgment, Cash points out that he backed him in front of Rue, but he still thinks he's wrong. Sometime later, Rue returns home, frustrated about not being able to help Cohen, who's gone up to bed having hardly touched his dinner. Rue explains that Harper's in the same situation with also not being able to give out Adrian's address, and he's not returning any of Rue's calls. But just as Alf is heading to bed, David turns up at Summer Bay House and places a piece of paper on the table in front of Rue. "You didn't get this for me, I hope it helps," he states. Rue opens it, and is surprised to find Adrian's address. She goes to thank David, only to find he's already gone. Will Rue be able to track down Adrian and change his mind?